Welcome to the new series of the PI show, and welcome to the new time slot. My name's Harry Nowicki. I'm a personal injury lawyer. I'm with the top level team, Tony Carbone and Martin Smith. That's the first 11, if you like, and we're here to discuss personal injuries and all the things arising from personal injuries in the context of law. Welcome to the new series, Martin. We've got a new set. There's a few comments made about footy shows and Channel 9 newses and things like this, and we're very excited about invigorating the series.
New set and a new time slot, Harry.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
9:30. Don't forget.
So today we're starting off with an interesting case, which is the first time in Victoria. Facebook is featured to my knowledge, in a personal injury claim.
Yes.
A 28-year-old casual labourer was working at lifting a roll of rubber. His colleague dropped the rubber. He suffered a back injury.
Yes.
He saw a lawyer, lodged a claim, saw a lawyer, and then went and applied for a serious injury in Victoria. The judge in the first instance said no serious injury. Went to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal decided this case on the 14th of August 2009, and unfortunately the plaintiff went down. And the interesting part about this claim is the role Facebook played. Everyone here knows Facebook. Do you have a Facebook, Tony?
Someone set it up for me, but I really don't know how to use it.
Do you have a Facebook?
No, I don't, Harry.
Neither do I. So it's another generation. So the plaintiff in this case was a 28-year-old. So it's a new generation. He had a Facebook. Now, he was a student when he was injured. He was working as a sort of casual labourer. And interestingly enough, in December 2007, he went overseas for 3 months. He went to Croatia, Spain, Holland and the UK, and posted a number of entries on Facebook. He came back, and I think the case ran in 2009, and he was asked a number of questions about what he did overseas. Yes. And the judge in the first instance in the Court of Appeal looked on the Facebook and the material produced as a result of that and said he seemed to be having an active social life, as you do as a 28-year-old travelling around Europe for 3 months. Yes. And what happened was, as I say, the Court of Appeal made comments about the fact that he posted a number of things on Facebook. And I think there's some disagreement about how significant that was. My view is he was a bit unlucky to lose the case. The court said it was a borderline case and went one way. You're of the view that the case was decided on sound principles.
I'm of the view that it was a complex case, and as you said, the court found it borderline. They had no trouble about the issue of causation. In other words, the incident occurred, the person was injured in a work environment. The next question was he had some complex medical histories or conditions. The pathology for a young man, a man who's in his 20s, who has 45 years ahead of him of ongoing pain, you would think is a considerable reason to give the person a serious injury certificate. However, the issue of credibility in relation to what his consequences are obviously becomes an issue as to what are the ongoing problems he's facing. Here he is on Facebook, presumably in Europe, moving around quite freely in a social environment. Here he is at home saying he has some problems which are ongoing.
Marty, the important thing about these cases is what they put on affidavit.
Correct.
It's important that when they go on affidavit, they say things as they are.
Yes.
and that they lay it all on the table. That's what you're basically saying.
His cards on the table face up is the expression, so everybody knows what they're dealing with.
And what this fellow did was he went overseas and he either embellished or he was doing things that he said he couldn't do or had difficulty doing, and it all come unstuck when on cross-examination.
But I think what the court ultimately found was that he had an active social life, so the injury didn't have a huge impact on his social life.
And
So
I think you're right, Harry.
I think if he'd even if he had no Facebook and they said, well, look, you've travelled overseas, you're pretty active, the injuries has minimal consequences on your social life.
I think they even commented on what impact it would have on his work life too. I mean, because
the work life was, I think, significant. The impact on his social life wasn't significant, and the court in the first instance and the Court of Appeal both said it didn't meet the threshold of a serious injury. So,
just on that point, Harry, I think you've hit the nail on the head. The consequences that the court looks at with serious injury is not just in relation to work, it's in relation to your family, your domestic, your social, your recreational, and finally your work life. And the court has set down the law that you've got to have a more than significant, marked or more than considerable case to get the serious injury ticket. This one was borderline as described, but fell short of that bar.
But Marty, having said that, being so young, and the fact that he had 45 years, as you said before, ahead of him, work-wise and social and whatever else, you'd think that he was a little bit unlucky in the sense that he still could have got the benefit of the doubt from the judge or Court of Appeal.
yeah. But interestingly enough, I think the lawyers for the Workcover Authority did their due diligence and did look up Facebook, and the three of us are sort of dinosaurs, so we don't have much knowledge of how Facebook works. But I think they did their due diligence, they investigated the claim, and they came up with Facebook material which they then put to him in cross-examination.
Well, Facebook's only the tip of the iceberg, Harry, because you've got mobile phones, you've got Twitter. I'm not really sure what it is, but you've got that. You've got MySpace, YouTube, all sorts of things.
Correct.
So you've got to be very, very...
Look, the CCTV footage that's used, obviously, when you think about railway stations, McDonald's, KFCs, etc., there's a lot of CCTV footage that's gathered these days. That's all evidence that can be used in cases.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. We've got another case which we'll discuss after the break, which again, surveillance played a role. In this case, there was simply surveillance of shopping in the course of a day. Someone was injured and they had investigations for, in effect, from 9 o'clock till 3 o'clock on one day. And the surveillance wasn't damaging in the eyes of the judge in the first instance, and the Court of Appeal also said it wasn't damaging in and of itself. But surveillance is a live issue in most cases in Victoria involving personal injuries that go to trial. And perhaps we'll come back to that after the break.